Coming up on OU Nightly, we're tracking severe weather for your Tuesday night. I'll have the full forecast and details ahead to keep you prepared ahead of the storm.
Bedbugs plague one dorm on campus, how the university is responding, and Norman officials cleared a homeless encampment, what the city is doing to provide support. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Alexa Dringus.
And I'm Olivia Hayes. Activities for Oklahoma City Public Schools are canceled for the day due to severe weather. The largest team of collegiate meteorologists is tracking the severe weather threat for this evening.
OU Nightly meteorologist Chloe Arroyo joins us with updates on how these storms are developing. Chloe?
Ladies, yes, we have a severe weather threat this evening into tonight. In fact, we've already been tracking southwestern Oklahoma. We see a little bit of convection. What do I mean by that? Some clouds beginning to develop. That is indication of instability needed to trigger these storms. But for right now, this is the overall look. This orange region right here is your enhanced risk. That's a level 3 out of 5 severe risk. That includes Norman, extending up into Tulsa and even into southeastern Kansas and even further north than that. So here's what we know. Round 1 will start anywhere between now and 10 p.m. This one's mostly uncertain, but holds all severe weather threats from damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes possible with that. Round 2 is more likely overnight tonight into the early morning hours. That will be more so of a straight line wind event and a damaging large hail event with that. Now, where and when round 1 begins is a little bit uncertain, but we're continuing to track it because it will develop in the next 30 minutes to an hour. So coming up in a bit, we'll talk more about the full forecast and rain chances ahead. Ladies.
Thanks, Chloe. Severe weather season is officially upon us here in Oklahoma, and the most important thing to help make sure we're all safe, definitely a day to be weather aware, as all modes of severe weather are possible this evening. OU Nightly meteorologist Morgan Fold tells us how we can stay safe from these storms.
What you're going to want to do is you're going to look for an interior bathroom or closet in your house. You're going to want to be able to put pillows, blankets, necessities, medications, stuff like that. You need to have a tornado plan to go there in the event that we have a tornado warning issued for here.
Other suggestions from Morgan: stay as far away from windows or take shelter under a staircase.
Bedbugs in Boren. That is the reality some students living in the David L. Boren Residence Hall right here on campus are living with. OU Nightly sat down to talk with concerned students and parents. Sleep tight and don't let the bedbugs bite is an old common saying. But students at David L. Boren Hall are getting little sleep after a months-long bedbug infestation.
She came in and she was like, "We have bed bugs."
Leah Silva lives in Boren Hall and is friends with an affected resident.
On her roommate's side, there was like an infestation all over her, like clothes that was under her bed. They were like everywhere.
The university says many inspections and treatments have been done, but Laura Westemeyer says the problem has only continued for her daughter.
Because I knew those bed bugs had been there since early January, and because they weren't doing room checks, they were allowed to spread.
And a lack of resources is only making the problem worse.
She sent a text and said, "Hey, we do not have services. We do not have washers and dryers in our basement. We have to go across. Can we at least get some more washers and dryers opened up at some of the other dorms?"
Westemeyer is still hopeful the situation could improve, but discouraged after the way it's been handled so far.
It is 100% the responsibility of housing to have a protocol to get these girls into temporary housing. They have felt unimportant, and they're just casualties in the learning process.
Westemeyer says her daughter possibly could be moved to another room, but that has not been confirmed by university officials at this time. Residents of Boren Hall are being told another bedbug treatment will be done on Thursday.
Cleanup efforts are underway at Wood Creek Park after Norman City officials cleared a homeless encampment. The city says the decision came after weeks of outreach to those living there. City staff worked to remove the camp after receiving concerns from residents. According to city officials, 4 to 5 people vacated the area. The city says resources and shelter options were offered through City Care, which operates an emergency shelter in Norman.
It makes me feel a lot safer. We've had to install cameras, and it just like makes everything a little bit more scary and a little bit more serious. And like the kids in our neighborhood can now go like run around the park and feel safe about it. Luckily that they're out now, it makes everything just a little bit more safer and a little bit more eco-friendly.
The city says it will continue working with local organizations to provide support for those experiencing homelessness. Officials also ask residents to report any concerns about public spaces.
Religious freedom is still the center of debate here in Oklahoma. Governor Kevin Stitt issued an executive order saying no public program should exclude anyone based on religion. The order comes a month ahead of a Supreme Court hearing about the nation's first publicly funded religious charter school. In response to the executive order, Oklahoma Attorney General Gentner Drummond filed a brief in the Supreme Court case, saying the taxpayer-funded religious public school violates the Constitution.
The state set an execution date for an inmate transferred to Oklahoma for a 1999 murder. George John Hansen kidnapped and murdered 77-year-old Mary Bowles near Owasso. Hansen was transferred from a federal prison in Louisiana where he was serving life in prison for robbery. A clemency hearing for Hansen will be on May 7th, and the execution date is set for June 12th. Democratic Senator Cory Booker passes the 21-hour mark speaking on the Senate floor opposing President Donald Trump's agenda. OU Nightly's Bryn Mead has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center. Bryn.
What many are calling a marathon speech, Senator Cory Booker claims there's damage being done to the American people. Booker slams the president, Elon Musk, and his involvement in the government and warns Americans of a stock market regression. In 2013, Republican Senator Ted Cruz delivered a 21-hour-long speech criticizing Obamacare. The U.S. Health and Human Services Department is issuing layoff notices with 10,000 employees expected to be let go. An email to staff explains that the cuts are not related to work performance. The Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to see the most cuts. The U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the Justice Department will seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. Mangione is accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. In a statement, Bondi said federal prosecutors will pursue the death penalty if Mangione is convicted of capital murder. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to the state charges. He's charged in a federal criminal complaint, but the indictment is pending. It's election day in Wisconsin and Florida. All eyes are on the two states' races that could change the balance of the Supreme Court. The battle for this court seat has become the most expensive in U.S. judicial history. Alexa, Olivia.
Thank you, Bryn. Are you in need of some sunshine on this cloudy day? If so, we might just have the perfect pup for you.
Stick around to see why this pet of the week could brighten your day. And a heartbreaking series loss this weekend for one Sooner team. Find out how they try to put it behind them tonight in Dallas-Fort Worth.
This week's Pet of the Week is ready for his big break. Not in Hollywood, but in a forever home. OU Nightly's Emma McAndrews introduces you to Hollis.
If you're looking for a dog that's all about fun, Hollis might just be your guy. He's got energy, personality, and so much love to give, and he's ready to go on your next adventure with you.
Obviously, Hollis wants to be a star and definitely is.
He's all personality, so he might be small, but it is all the way full, like to at least his eyeballs of personality.
He has grown up at the shelter, but that has not dimmed his spirit.
So he's just got this amazing, active, vivacious personality, and it's just sad that it's all here. It's all stuck here in the shelter for the last 4 months of his life.
He spent most of his life here, but he's more than ready for a forever home.
As long as he has appropriate outlets for all of his energy and playfulness, he's also going to have that curl up cuddle with you because he wants both. He wants to kind of sit there and get the pets and flop over and get his belly rubbed, but to get to that, he has to have that really playful, energetic outlet.
No April Fool's joke here. He'll jump right into your arms and smother you with love.
Hollis is ready to bring some jumping energy into someone's life, and if you think he might be a perfect match, you can come meet Hollis here at the Norman Animal Welfare Center, and you might just find your new best friend. Reporting from Norman, I'm Emma McAndrews, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Emma. If you or anyone you know is interested in Hollis, you can check him out on the Norman Animal Welfare website on normanok.gov. It's never too late to help a pet in need.
TikTok, because time is running out for one of the biggest and most popular social media apps to find a new buyer.
Find out why they're racing against the clock and what happens if their deadline isn't met. Next.
Plus, we have new information on the storm development in southwestern Oklahoma. I've got the details on that and your full forecast right after the break. Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. We're tracking severe weather starting really now into this evening. We've got 2 rounds, so I'm going to break all of the information down for you. I really want to start out with water vapor. This is a view from space. It shows the moisture in the air, which is really aiding our chance for storms. You can see the areas in the green. That is really aiding the moisture needed for the instability, and that's really what helps trigger these storms. Now, we're looking at possible development right now. This is from our partners at the National Weather Service. They're really tracking this area specifically. As clouds are beginning to develop, we see some cumulus clouds. That shows instability in the area, but as that continues to develop, there's really not much keeping these storms from developing in the next 30 minutes or so. So anything that does develop, it's going to be relatively quick. So here's what we know. Round 1, anywhere from now to 10 p.m. This one's pretty uncertain, but as we see this begin to develop in southwestern Oklahoma, the likelihood begins to increase. Round 2 will be more likely overnight, so a nocturnal event, so a loud night for a lot of us folks here in Oklahoma. 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. is what we're expecting for this round 2. That will be more widespread, more of a long straight line wind and damaging hail event as well. But all modes are possible, especially for round 1. So what we don't know for sure is where and when round 1 and eventually round 2 will begin. But we are continuing to track that development in southwestern Oklahoma. That could eventually be an indicator of our first round of storms this evening. So here's the overall look. So we have an enhanced risk for much of Oklahoma. That's going to continue through the evening hours. Overnight tonight, the tornado risk, pretty moderate risk, a medium risk is what you see in the yellow. So something you don't see every day with a tornado risk right there. Damaging wind is also a large threat across much of Oklahoma. We're on the lower end, but still significant, especially as you go further north with those storms. So this is a large system that's impacting more than just Oklahoma, but the large hail risk is really big. So probably one of our higher risks across, again, much of Oklahoma. So all modes of severe weather are possible heading into tonight. So really tracking this out for you. We'll see storms begin to develop again in southwestern Oklahoma around the Lawton area. These will be isolated cells. And when you see isolated cells, the tornado risk begins to increase along with it. So that's going to continue to push off northeastward. And we could see cells near the Norman area by dinner time tonight, 5, 6 o'clock, really in the next hour or 2. So we'll continue to see that. And then round 2 will be Wednesday, early Wednesday morning. Now this model is trending further east than we're anticipating. So models could be shifting further east than it actually will be. So really keeping that in mind, that this is not going to be an exact prediction of what it will be overnight into the early morning hours. Now Thursday we'll also see a chance for showers and storms. This one will be a little more disorganized, therefore more widespread. So we could see more rainfall with this one more than anything. And that's going to continue into Thursday and even into Friday morning. We've got some clouds that will begin to linger and dissipate throughout that. So lots of chances for precipitation overnight tonight into early Thursday morning. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Lots of active days of precipitation Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday. Lots of rainfall on Friday, but stay weather aware this evening.
Thank you, Chloe. It is crucial to stay weather aware, and now you can receive a direct alert on your phone from your campus weather authority. For just $1 a month, you will receive a call and push notification anytime severe weather knocks on your front door. Just scan the QR code on your screen and sign up today.
TikTok is almost out of time to find a buyer again. TikTok's parent company ByteDance has to sell the app's U.S. operations by Saturday, April 5th, or face a ban in the United States. This comes after President Donald Trump extended the deadline in January. U.S. lawmakers have long been concerned that TikTok poses a national security risk. In January, TikTok went offline for about 14 hours after the initial sale or ban deadline passed with no deal.
The Oklahoma City Thunder welcomed back a former teammate last night,
while several former Sooners start the final stretch to the NBA playoffs.
OU baseball prepares for a midweek in a former Big 12 face-off in Texas, while Sooners softball looks to get back up on their high horse to rebound from their upset series loss this past weekend. Find out more next in sports. Hello, I'm Kevin Daniel, and it's time for sports. Oklahoma is in the heart of America, and as the men's gymnastics team proved, it's also the home of All-Americans. You heard me, 6 Sooner gymnasts grabbed All-American honors across all 6 events. Senior Emre O'Donnelly showed out, leading the team with 3 honors in floor, vault, and horizontal bar. Burgoyne, Hito, and Melendez all claimed awards on still rings. Next, number 1 ranked OU heads to Colorado Springs for the MPSF Championships. Sooner softball looks to bounce back from their first SEC Series loss to the Tennessee Lady Volunteers over the weekend. Tonight, on the road against UT Arlington. Head coach Patty Gasso believes this squad still has some Sooner magic in them.
I don't think we've lost confidence at all. I think we know we just have to get better. We have to put in the work and really start creating plans when you walk to the plate.
Following a series loss in Tuscaloosa to the Alabama Crimson Tide, OU baseball heads down I-35 like a band of Rough Riders to face former Big 12 foes in the Texas Tech Red Raiders in Frisco, Texas, tonight at 6:30. The last time these two met in 2024, the Sooners swept the Red Raiders in Lubbock. Cam Johnson will take the mound in hopes of sending Texas Tech back to Lubbock like a tumbleweed in the wind. From the diamond to the court, Trae Young's Atlanta Hawks host the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. The Hawks look to hold on to the 10 seed in the East with most of their remaining schedule on the road. Also tonight, Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors head to Memphis to face Western Conference challengers in the Grizzlies. Warriors also hold the 10 seed and hope to wrap up the season strong. Josh Giddey made his return to the Paycom Center last night, but the Thunder worked the Chicago Bulls like matadors, scoring 85 points across the second and third quarters to win 45-117, improving to a historic 28-1 against Eastern Conference teams. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 27 points against the Bulls must have impressed as he was just named NBA Western Conference Player of the Month in March. SGA averaged almost 35 points per game. In addition, Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault also won Western Conference Coach of the Month. Alexa?
Thanks, Kevin. A jaws-dropping scene today as more PD issues an unexpected warning on social media.
Why you may want to be on the lookout for something treacherous in the water. Find out more when we return.
I'm Willie Gillespie at the OU Nightly Update Desk. We continue to track the threat of severe weather this evening. Here are some shelter locations on campus on the screen. You can scan the QR code to see a searchable list of shelters. Now, these can be used by students, but they are not open to the public, and we advise you if a tornado warning is issued to seek shelter immediately at one of those or other locations, again, if you are a student. We'll have full team coverage if storms threaten campus all night long. Alexa, Olivia, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Willie. Shark sightings are being reported in Moore. The Moore Police Department is warning residents across their social media to stay on shore.
They can be seen in the Riverwalk Plaza area by 19th and Telephone and the Moore Central Park and the station. Moore PD also says happy April Fools to everyone on high alert. Now, Chloe, can you give us one more check at the weather? What are we looking at?
Yes, so right now we're actually tracking a specific area in southwestern Oklahoma. So I just wanted to show this to you real quick. This is the area to watch in the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. Aside from today, we have multiple chances for showers and storms throughout the rest of the week. So a really active week in terms of storms, but really stay weather aware overnight tonight.
Definitely going to be on high alert. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Alexa Dringus.
And I'm Olivia Hayes. We're actually going to take a live look at one of those storm shelters that we have on campus here, as you can see, just over by the towers. And you can go there tonight if you need any shelter, if you're in those dorms and student housing on campus. And they are going to typically have snacks for you. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Hayes. Good night.